Define your cue and all you need in it. The items in your hoard, the dreams you can't afford. Define your cue, your long-term strategy, the actors you prepare to join you in your solitaire. Your borderline, your grounding. Do you want me in or do you want me out? Your battle zone, your territory. Do you want me in or do you want me out? Frames to protect and frames to present. We keep on rotating through these golden cages. Frames to protect and frames to present. We keep on rotating through these golden cages. Under your sway, demands are growing fast. Repletion takes you on, but this fight can't be won under your sway. What is turned to how? What you think is your intent is shaped by your environment, your peer group, your hedonism. Do you want me in or do you want me out? Your waiting room, your traveling circles. Do you want me in or do you want me out? Frames to protect and frames to present. We keep on rotating through these golden cages. Frames to protect and frames to present. We keep on rotating through these golden cages. Now that vacuity has taken over, now that we're learning to completely open space, now that we are crawling back into our cues, now that we are crawling back into our cues, now that vacuity has taken over, now that we're learning to completely open space, now that we are crawling back into our cues, now that we are crawling back into our cues. Do you want me in or do you want me out? Do you want me in or do you want me out? Do you want me in or do you want me out? Do you want me in? Frames to protect and frames to present. We keep on rotating through these golden cages. Frames to protect and frames to present. We keep on rotating through these golden cages. Keep on rotating. on mutating, we keep on rotating, we keep on mutating, we keep on rotating, we keep on mutating, we keep on rotating, we keep on mutating.
Good evening, and for once my microphone volume is set correctly, so I can safely say audibly and not deafeningly, welcome back to Jerusalem, where in the 12th century things are, well, probably slightly calmer than they are today, in that the Kingdom of Jerusalem is under the more or less iron fist of Queen Gerhild di Spoleto, who has been installed there by the will of the Pope, who is our Pope anyway, by the will of Pope Marinus III, and not Innocentius II, who is an anti-pope, and she is doing her best to found the Empire of Outremer, which is quite a big job compared to the real Outremer, which I actually bothered to look up recently, which was, well, roughly this area. I mean, it extended a fair distance north, didn't it, up to about Edessa and the coastal strip. The Outremer in CK2 is meant to cover the area outlined in green. Excuse me. There. Oops.
Just a tiny bit bigger and slightly in a different place.
Well, I mean, it covers the whole of the historic Outremer. It's just it covers quite a large area that wasn't historically Outremer as well. Meanwhile, the Muslim, well, the Sunni caliphate, the Shia caliphate, having been completely obliterated, is doing its best to push the Buddhists back from its eastern borders by being at war with the Pratihara kingdom. That's not going well for them, or at least it's currently, I believe, going entirely neutrally for them, in that it's currently a 0% war score. But the Pratihara kingdom is kind of adequately scary, with 12,500 troops.
Holy war, isn't it? So
it's a jihad.
Right. Yes.
So yes, I think in theory, other Buddhist rulers, of which, to be fair, the others are quite a long way away, could come to the aid of the Pratihara kingdom. But this is none of our concern.
What's the weird infidels are weirdly doing weirdly?
Yes.
In weird land.
At least it's none of our concern until we've got all the way through Persia ourselves. And Queen Gerhild is instead trying to sort things out with her immediate neighbours, and by sort things out I mean invade. But before that, let's have a look at how the other neighbours are doing, and in particular whether we should get an alliance with them, because Queen Adalberta, whom we left behind in Egypt, has founded the Kingdom of Africa and made that her primary title. So this great big strip all the way along here is now labelled Africa. She has also, as you can see, in the process, vassalised the Duchy of Sirte, which Duchess Hildeberg was left controlling after the First Crusade. But she still hasn't managed to get back to the Atlantic. Who is she at war with at the moment? She's currently at war with Venice, with one of the two Venices. In an embargo war to try to get some money from them, though she is not doing well, and she's got 6,000 money. Why is she bothering?
Yeah, sometimes not very.
Yeah, like savvy. I suppose Venice has just stomped her weird European holdings, so it may find it hard to do much better than that now. We do, of course, still have the situation that there are two merchant republics called Venice. There's the one that's here under the control of the Empire of Italia, and the independent one here, not in Venice, and they have similar but not quite identical flags in that if you look closely you can see there's no writing under the lion on this one. That's the Italian Venice, whereas there is writing under the lion on this one, which is the the independent Venice. My tea is apparently proving quite complicated to deliver. Right. So, yes, the neighbours. I'm considering whether I might want an alliance with Adalberta, because that would A, stop her invading Jerusalem, and B, give me some backup when things go interesting. Of course, it would mean that I would be her backup, and she'd expect me to help her with stomping Venice. But I can do that in a fairly notional way, I think. Yes, Africa has these odd little fragments all over Europe. Meanwhile, England is still not quite flattening Scotland.
One small village.
Not quite, but like Scotland consists of about 4 counties now: the Western Isles, Ross, Caithness, and Orkney.
Orkney's the one colour, isn't it? That's right.
That's Kingdom of Scotland.
Okay.
You just need to get past all the other markings.
Pale blue,
That's an independent Buchan.
you probably won't be independent for long.
Well, they're currently at war with Queen Isabel of Scotland.
Presumably Scotland would like it back.
No, Buchan would like Scotland,
Well,
I think. But Buchanian claim on Scotland war. Buchan is losing. So yes, the Shetlands are part of Northrea, along with nowhere else. Oh, along with the Faroes. It looks like. Yes. So yes, we have a small Northrea up there. Norway is entirely in Iceland. Oh, except for its what? Except for its capital. Okay, Norway is in Iceland and Vermondois.
right.
Because it's more comfortable down there, their capital is in Vermondois.
Oh yeah, I need that.
Oh, and also Western Ireland.
Okay.
So yes, there's weird stuff going on back in Europe. But we're stomping through the desert with a queen who is... No, not horse with no name. I carefully avoided that. With the queen whose name is the Sword of God, and who has desert expertise. So, being as she is a Crusader queen, Queen Gerhild's major approach to the entire world is to invade it, is to declare holy wars on it. Though she did de jure war against the Byzantine revolt, in order to claim one county off them, so as to connect her kingdom again. Conveniently, since she last attacked the Banu Ferhat Sultanate, they've gained a replacement sultan. Their capital is somewhere weird. I think the capital of the Banu Ferhat Sultanate is somewhere down here. He's there, yes. Bizarrely, and is currently being occupied because like half of my vassals are currently at war with the Banu Ferhat Sultanate, and I think I should join them, because Sultan Ghazi has like 1,500 troops, and he is currently engaged in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wars, mostly against vassals of Jerusalem. One of them is in relation to the Duchy of Tripoli, and he's about to win that one. So that seems like a good duchy for me to holy war for. That's these 3 counties here, because that will like reduce the amount of Banofrat land in de jure Syria, which is good for getting the kingdom destroyed. So that or rather allowing us to usurp the kingdom, so that then we can break up what's left of it, and then we can then maybe the Byzantines will take those two counties, or maybe one of my vassals will. Who knows? And like we can clearly do this without any serious. I mean, he will bring in allies. Should I make an alliance with Queen Adalberta, or will that just get me into trouble?
Well, you can always send 500 troops to anything you don't actually want to get involved with.
The only thing worse than an AI vassal is a human vassal. Ally.
Yeah.
I can declare war on her instead, which is part of why I want an alliance, because I don't currently have I don't think I can get a non-aggression pact. I can just immediately get an alliance. Yes, note the huge negative score there for political concerns, because I think she really would like to stomp on me, but on the other hand, I am her daughter. So yes, well, let's ask her for an alliance, and she'll probably immediately call us into the war against Venice.
So how many troops have you notionally got?
Oh yes, I should wait for a few conversions to happen. Broadly 28,000. I'm like about the 4th biggest military power in the world. And now have the same martial score as my mother. I think I found it.
Totally terrifying.
Only 30.
Pretty terrifying.
So if we find independent states in the list and sort by size of army, Africa is the biggest, then the Byzantine Empire, then the Holy Roman Empire, then Jerusalem.
Okay. Mix of do not take on Christians. Run away.
Iraq does come in at in 6th place. They're Muslims. Right, pour more money into improving Ramallah. Oh no, I can't. We don't have the tech anymore. We need more tech. Oh yes, I was going to change.
You've got Petra now, haven't you?
Not yet, no. Petra is somewhere down here, I think, in the desert. I don't really want it until I've built at least the 2nd level of my magnificent gardens. 90% done on stage 1. We need to get stage 2 before I have fulfilled my ambition.
It won't cost more once you've paid the initial charge.
Yeah. Oh good, we no longer have a defensive pact opposing us, but since it contained only the Knights Templar, it wasn't a very scary one. Right, I now have an alliance with my mother. One of the things one of the things I do want to investigate, but I don't think I can do anything about it now, is whether we can arrange to inherit Sinai by somehow sneaking Athelwine out once he comes of age and granting him a duchy somewhere, because I don't really want to try to get Sinai off Africa by going to war with Africa, because A, I just got an alliance with Africa, and B, Africa are bloody terrifying. So it would be much better if I could just inherit it. Oh yes, I was thinking about tech. So, given that we have plenty of money, it might be useful to be able to upgrade our castles a bit more, and either get castle infrastructure 4 or improved keeps 4, which means that we'd quite like to find someone we can get those from, and we're currently researching tech in Constantinople, but it's not very good for either improved keeps or castle infrastructure. If I want improved keeps, I probably want to go to Africa and talk to Queen Adalberta. And if I want castle infrastructure, then rather bizarrely, I think I want to go to Baghdad.
I'd go to Baghdad because then there's other benefits of having your spy.
Yeah, let's send my spy master to Baghdad. Because I'll probably be at war with the Najidids at some point soon. So yeah, I think that's a good plan. We're keeping our steward overseeing construction so as to get the magnificent garden built reasonably quickly. And yes, Princess Ansa, whose name I find quite difficult to pronounce because I keep wanting her to be Ansta. Seb says, at war with the Najidids, obvious euphemism.
Yes.
Yes, Ansa is, see, I still can't do it right, is 13 under my tutelage, despite being technically in the charge of Adalberta and betrothed to a convenient genius who looks like he'll probably be all right, and is a Conradina, which might be useful. I don't know. That probably gets me some weird marriage ties. No, it doesn't. Possibly because officially it wasn't me that organised the marriage, or rather, I organised the marriage by getting what's-face Conradina to come to my court so I could betroth him to my daughter, who was officially being managed by my mother. I don't really understand this stuff, but right, yes. So I think I should declare war on the Banal Farad Sultanate before they get bored. I don't think I'm now... Oh, yes. Quick check for the religion of my vassals. I think now we're in the situation where the only one of my vassals who isn't Catholic is one who refuses to convert. Yes, Theodorus Malenos is has a minus 36 opinion of me. He was a terribly bad idea.
But it looks like it's Christian flavour of religion.
Yeah, he's Orthodox.
So it's not so bad then.
Probably I should appoint someone else as Duke of whatever his duchy should be, because one of the reasons he dislikes me is that he would like to be the Duke of Palmyra. I should obviously find someone else to stick in as Duke of Palmyra, possibly, for instance, the heir to the Duchy of Sinai. If I can work out a way to get him to come to my court. But, yes, meanwhile, our convenient young new Sultan, with whom I do not have a truce. I was quite amused, actually. I was reading about the Crusades, finally, in Wikipedia, and discovering that, yes, the approach of your enemy dies and therefore your truce runs out totally is a thing, or was a thing. We can't possibly go to war with them. Oh, they've died. What a pity. We've got a new sultan or whatever we can go to war with instead. So I think we should engage in a holy war for Tripoli. So I could call in the Kingdom of Africa. My intention is not to, because we really don't need Africa's help in this one. My intention, we've already got plus 18% war score. I think I can do this one on my domain levies, and probably not even all of them. But I will use all of them. Actually, maybe I just use the 3,000 from Jerusalem and save the others for other purposes. Oh, but we only... okay, we end up stupidly unbalanced if we do that. Yeah, okay. We'll raise all of them. just so we can end up with a more sane army. Yes, there's the generally confusing thing that this is not the Tripoli you expect, because the Tripoli you're thinking of is over here somewhere, isn't it? No, not quite over there. Anyway, someone's usurped a bishopric, that's nice. Thought there was a Tripoli somewhere over here. Oh well. Anyway, I can watch my... I'm wondering if I should watch my mother and see what she's up to, but maybe I don't care. We have our own things to deal with over here. There's a decent supply limit there, isn't there? Yeah, because it's on the coast. Isidoros' justice, my steward, has brought peace to a troubled county. Fewer crimes are committed and fewer complaints are heard in the province. The peasants have never been happier.
What is
That's
Truce
nice.
doing right now?
He's overseeing the construction of the garden.
Ah, excellent.
24% war score. I haven't done anything yet.
Are you getting ticking war score for occupations?
My vassals keep occupying things. Yes, unsurprisingly, my dear daughter, may you live in harmony and contentment. We request that you honour your obligation and answer this call to arms against Sirij Doge Checho of Venice. Yes, obviously. For one thing, that allows me to push over all of their trade posts, if we've got any, in my territory. The lady almost ran me... It ought to be the case if it's an embargo war that I can get to do to the trade posts on my territory what Adalberta's doing to the trade posts on hers. The lady almost ran me down as I entered the hall. Anster's insulted her again. Yes, you've done that several times, Anster. Answer, maybe you could stop. Every time I tell you honesty has its bounds. This is, I think, the third occasion you've insulted her. And I've tried to tell you, no, don't do that. We've actually got a siege leader with decent martial skill for once. Oh dear. So, we've gained some tech points of some sort from Baghdad, such as will allow us to upgrade anything I'm hugely in need of upgrading. Maybe I upgrade my tolerance. I prefer to upgrade things we aren't naturally gaining. Obviously that requires getting lots of points in things. Lots of points in order to do it, because they're always thing. Hooray! Seb has a coffee machine again. Camel.
You've got camel cavalry.
Yes.
Good.
Oh yes, Adalberta. Which precise? It's the independent Venice you're at war with, right? Well, in that case, maybe I should send a small detachment of troops one county north and quickly besiege their trade post there. Well, no, we'll be there in a moment. Up here, on the other hand, is a trade post of the Italian Venice, just to make life confusing. Mostly, though, we're in a Amalfi realm. Maybe I should push that army over. They're being inconvenient there. That's not going to help. That's getting better. That will do the trick. Right, and an army with Queen Adalberta at its head stomps in to give the enemy a quick thrashing. The African-Venetian embargo war has ended. I didn't do anything. Indeed, I didn't even get round to besieging a trade post. Queen Adalberta of Africa won. Okay. I don't have to pause at the end of a battle anymore. I've changed the settings. Right, we won the Battle of Gaza. We've captured Emir Nuruddin the Careless, but he's not worth any war score. So let us quickly ransom him for 145 gold. That's nice. I mean, I've got quite a lot of gold, but... right, and I think we can now stand that army down. It was just there to get us some convenient battle war score. We have a message here which says that we've imprisoned him and we'll probably be releasing him pretty soon. To the narrow-minded fanatic Gerhild, you child of a mangy dog, I accept paying your ransom for the safe return of Emir Nuruddin. Says Emir Nuruddin, who perhaps should stop referring to himself in the third person. Turn up time for a moment while we knock everything over. Yes, Seb asks, are you allowed to pay your own ransom? I think so. I mean, you're probably actually asking your steward to pay your ransom, but out of your coffers.
Or indeed possibly your wife, going by the real-life example of Richard I and poor old Berengaria, who had to slog around Europe raising cash to get her husband ransomed. I think from the Holy Roman Emperor. Yeah.
Right, we've won the siege of Giblet, or Giblet, possibly. We've also finished first stage of constructing Jerusalem Garden. I don't think that's the right name for it. So if anyone can come up with a better name for my garden than Jerusalem Garden.
That's an artichoke.
No. It's currently called Jerusalem Garden. It is a magnificent garden in Jerusalem. But I feel that name is a bit too obvious. It is in the hills of Jerusalem. The county, not the city, but... Right, well, obviously we set to work building stage 2. No, we don't do elephants here, Pink Beast, we do camels. Excuse me while I throw more money at improving my... holdings. Now back to besieging Tripoli. The Knights Templar have formed a defensive pact opposing me again. I mean, I appreciate that they are technically the closest realm to Jerusalem, in that they're inside the kingdom. But it does still seem a little silly. Oh, Caliph of the Hashemid Empire has joined the Jerusalemite Holy War for Tripoli. Right, he's not really very scary either. He has fewer troops than I've got standing around in Tripoli. Oh, we dragged someone out of her hiding hole. I bet she's not doing anything good for our war score. No. Only worth 14 gold, but still. And we'll ransom the rest in a moment. Assuming we can't immediately ransom them, but I don't think we can because, yes. Walifai is already considering an offer from us to ransom one of his other relatives. I don't think, Pink Beast, the kind of elephants... Well, first, you don't get elephants in North Africa, and second, the kind of elephants you get in Africa are not generally the kind you take to war, I think.
But certainly you can get heffalumps if you go to India.
Yes. See, some people are polite about my ransom requests. To the most excellent Queen Gerhild, may you live in harmony and contentment. I accept paying your ransom for the safe return of Mawash. Oh, I should possibly stop plotting to kill my brother at some point. Like, I mean, that would have got me the inheritance of Africa, but like, I'm not sure it really matters. I don't really want it.
The advantage is that starts to give you the kind of, amount that allows you to take on, like, all the other defensive pacts. When you go to war.
No, I shall stop trying to kill my brother. Might upset my mother. Right. The Yazidi heresy has appeared in the county of Amman. Accursed heathens. I don't know that it really matters which Muslim heresy they're following. Sort of thing I was going to do. Don't think it was a thing involving elephants. Oh, it was a thing involving this tab and the fact that it has all my prisoners on it, yes. And that I should quickly ransom them before we win the war. Oh dear, I don't feel too well. Something is wrong with me. I am burning up with fever. My nose is running and my head feels as if someone is banging something hard against it. Queen Gerhild, Sword of God, is ill. Well, I mean, the garden should improve her health. Yes, the garden has improved her health. I woke this morning feeling much better. Good. Let's continue throwing money at our infrastructure. My daughter Ansa hardly eats anything for fear of turning fat. Right. Temperate is good for stewardship. Gluttonous is basically useless. So keep her temperate.
That's 100% war score?
No, it's 87% war score. I don't think it's really worth Oda von Heimbach. Ah. Was there someone I wanted to marry someone to? Is there someone in my court who currently wants to get married and I was going to see if I could find them a wife, and have I just found them one by accident? Search court. Several people, in fact. Baldwin and Darnay and Erdwolf and Philibert and Innocenzo and Isidoros. Well, who's the youngest? Darnay. And like, he's my precious siege leader, so I probably want to land him just to stop him running away. So in the meantime, we could cheer... Well, I mean, we can't really cheer him up. But that's mostly because he's got a thing for having received a gift. This would be simpler, I think, just to do by arranged marriage, wouldn't it? Because then it'll only prompt me for people in my court. Yes. There's one question is there a good reason to make it matrilineal? Do I care about the Heimbachs or the Teferis? I don't think I do. Oops, no, wrong button. There we go. Cheered up one of my commanders. 95% war score. Aha! We have a peace offer. To the Honourable Queen Gerhild, may you live in harmony and contentment. We surrender under these terms. Yep, sounds good to me. Right, so Kingdom of Jerusalem has expanded a little further. Queen Gerhild. So the independence faction has disbanded. Queen Gerhild has become Baroness of everywhere. So, is he now of age? He is. Would he like to join my court? No. If we sent him a big pile of money, would he want to join our court? Maybe. Can I check that without actually sending him a big pile of money? Right, he will not accept an offer even if we sent him an enormous pile of money. That's sad. And that would actually push him up to 100% opinion, so there's no other way we can get him up to an adequate desire to move because he likes his mother too much. Sorry, yes, he likes his mother too much, curiously. Oh, is he currently... No, he's not in his mother's court. Why does his opinion of his mother of my mother matter? Or, oh, was that me? Sorry, am I just being an idiot? Yes, I'm being an idiot. Queen Gerhild is my character. Duke Ostade is the one that he is currently in the court of, and he doesn't dislike his father enough, unsurprisingly really, to come and join us. We assume father. So yes, that's awkward. Wondering if there's any way we can reduce this. Not very easily. Much easier to improve someone's opinion of you than to reduce their opinion of someone else. Obviously, if he were to come up with a claim that I could then press for him, that would be lovely, but he hasn't. So... nonetheless, we need to sort out some of our enormous pile of e.g. bishoprics. As is conventional, I'm not going to try to be clever about them. We will just create vassals in each of them. How are we still that far over our domain limit then? Do we really have that many castles? Yeah, I do have rather a lot of counties. So I think there is some benefit in handing over the border duchies to vassals so that they can declare their own holy wars, which aren't subject to my truces and indeed defensive pacts. So I would like to find a suitable duke for Palmyra. I would have liked it to have been the heir to the Duchy of Sinai, but he won't come and join me. So possibly the problem is I don't. Oh no, I currently control all those counties, so I can make it anyone convenient. So I could, for instance, land one of my more precious commanders, like say the one I just provided a wife for, Darnay, and make him the Duke of there. And she'll give him a goodly quantity of stewardship. So, well, we won't get any taxes because he'll be a duke, but he'll have some money to play with. Yeah, let's do that. So grant him the Duchy of Palmyra and all lower titles. And then he can sit on our border and work out how to holy war against the Najidids when I can't. So he is now Duke Darnay of Palmyra. Sadly, his heir. Yeah, I suppose he is fairly young. Maybe Oda will provide him with some children, and that will help with his heir not being in prison. Right, so I presume I still have a truce with this guy. Do I? He doesn't look familiar. Yes, I have a truce with this guy. So much though I would like to go for a holy war for Mudar, I cannot. Kabul is slightly too far away, so I don't have a casus belli for them. Obviously, I currently have a truce with Banal Farat Sultanate. And they're only engaged in 4 wars at the moment. Countess of Durham, Count of Kerak, Duke of Aleppo, and Duke of Montreal. Montreal is winning. Montreal is the only one who's winning, which suggests that really my vassals are doing a pretty bad job of this. Apart from Montreal, who as we can see has like 1.5 counties claimed. And that's basically everyone nearby that I could plausibly go to war with at present. So possibly what I should do is like try to get myself some more possibilities just by getting claims on distant territories and taking claim wars against distant territories, which I can then holy war back again. So I can holy war back towards my main territory. So I'm kind of tempted to send my Chancellor out to Suleiman and get a claim on it, and then see if we can like use that to as a staging post to come backwards. So slightly tempting to set up a merchant republic out there. Oman's a rather big duchy, but then so's everything. Basra might be better, but it's a bit isolated. Anyway, Socotra would be kind of classical. I think officially Socotra isn't in... No, Socotra is officially Africa, so I don't actually need to take Socotra. Right, let's send my Chancellor out to fabricate a claim all the way over there. I'm still over my domain limit, despite having given away that duchy. The Duke of Ascalon has declared a holy war for Sinai. That's like one county in practice on the Banalfarat Sultanate. So, yes, what's my current domain? If I control click on Jerusalem, then the bits that stay labelled Jerusalem are mine, which is essentially the capital county and this great big strip down here. So I suppose we could try to make someone Duke of Tripoli. But you do get 2 castles in each of those 3, yes. Which means that they, between them, contribute 6 to my domain limit. Actually, can I adjust my centralisation so I'm allowed a bigger domain limit? I could go for high centralisation, which would allow me a bigger domain limit. It doesn't really do much else. Reduces my vassal limit by 5, but that's not a problem at the moment.
Does that mean your vassals can still declare war without...
Yeah, it's not Crown Authority. It just changes the balance between domain limit and vassal limit. Okay, there is now a defensive pact against Jerusalem, albeit not with many people in yet. Right, so we're now under our domain. We're meant to be under our domain limit. Oh, was that +3 relative to some unhelpful base? Oh yes, because that was +2, so it was only actually getting me 1 more domain limit. Curses. So I'm still over by 2. So ideally, probably I would grant one of these as a county to someone.
Are you holding personally any cities or bishoprics?
Nope. So let's have a look around for any weird claimants. In particular, I mean, I don't really want to go to war with the Byzantine Empire, mind. The Byzantine Empire is still a bit scary. So I suppose if there are actually any claimants to any invitable claimants to any of these counties, then that would obviously be ideal. So I'm basically wandering around going, do there happen to be any claimants to any interesting titles in my neighbours? And I suppose by neighbour I encompass, at least in theory, anything in the Near East. Who might want to join my court. That may take rather too long to check, but let's have a look around them. It's unlikely because most of them will turn out to be Muslims and most of them will be unwilling to join my court. But we can at least check a few of them. It's not looking very plausible. Yeah, down here there might be some Christians from Africa. But no. Okay, let's assume that's not going to bear any interesting fruit. I should probably move my court chaplain to like one of my own counties. No, that was not the right button. So I haven't managed to find any convenient claimant on any of the overseas territories. Let's see if we can find a claimant on, yeah, the Duchy of Aleppo would be good. No. Peasants have been angered by my oppressive rule. How dare they? Also, it might be feast time, though I think it may not be long enough since the last feast. Let's check. Yeah, the last feast doesn't expire for another year, so we won't hold a new one now. How about this? We probably can't find a useful claimant on the Kingdom of Assyria, because if we get a claimant on the Kingdom of Assyria, he'll immediately become independent again. Is that inside the area we care about? Yes, I think it is. No one I can get there, though. All the claimants on that are Muslim. Duchy of Mosul. One female claimant. That's not very helpful, and she's 84 years old. Yeah. So yes, there is a bit of a, like, none of the territories I can actually find claimants for. Oh, there's that patch there. What's that? It's currently officially the Duchy of Obsikion. does have a few claimants we could grab. Like, not very helpful. Let's see if... Should we see if the counties have any claimants? He has a weak claim on there. That one... She is a woman. That would be slightly useful were it not for the fact that I don't really want to go to war against the Byzantine Empire. I suppose she'll stay a woman, won't she? See if anyone has a strong claim and wants to join my court. These men are a bit interchangeable, really. No one with a strong claim. Let's pick someone young. So if we invite Himerios to our court, we could grant him a convenient county, and then if we happen to be in a position where we could do anything with that, someone is besieging us. We might want to stop that. Okay. I mean, I think that's... Yeah, if you want to murder him, I'll let you. Right, so we have our convenient claimant. We grant him, no, not Tripoli, Tortosa, the northernmost bit of Tripoli. Then he'll be in a position where he could stomp over the neighbours if he happened to feel like it. And that takes us down to 9, which is where we want to be. We do not wish to hold a feast at the moment. Yes, we're a bit threatening. We don't want to create any duchies. And... I mean, in theory, we could go to war with the Byzantine Empire for Opsikion. But, like, the Byzantine Empire is big and scary. So we only really want to do that if the Byzantine Empire is distracted. Currently at war with... It is currently at war with Italia, which probably... and is losing its war with Italia. So, like, we could take Opsikion off them. It feels a bit brave. Now, let's wait for a revolt. For a rebellion inside, whatever it is, inside a revolt inside the Byzantine Empire. I'm sure we won't have to wait long. Oh, we've got a... We should deal with the peasant revolt in Damascus, shouldn't we? Yeah, that's not a helpful number of troops. That is. Going to press them. That's a really badly balanced army, but on the other hand it should be quite effective. Slightly confused by the morale there that seems very good, but the morale of each flank is fairly terrible. I mean, it's probably good enough. Pope Innocentius is no longer. He's now Prince Bishop of Ferrara, and there is no anti-pope. What's going on with tech then? We can get any cultural advance we want. I mean, I still tend towards tolerance while we have substantial differences in culture among vassals. So, time passes. Banalfrat Sultanate is still at war with the Count of Monreal. He has 1.7 thousand troops. Which are doing pretty well. Banalfrat only has 647 troops. I kind of feel that Monreal probably doesn't need any help then. I mean, he's going a bit slowly, but I'm sure he'll get there in the end. Assuming that there's no one else on the defending side, I suppose. No, there isn't. Sadly, I can't build the Fountain of Youth because I'm not a mystic.
Hard to be a mystic.
I've got several, at least 2 mystic courtiers. I think one of my commanders is a mystic. But, yes.
Yeah,
So,
it's quite hard to get it in the ruler because all of the things that you tend to do to try and get better rulers tends to push you away from
right.
mystic.
I think Adalberta was a mystic. Anyway, so, yeah, similarly, the Herb Garden I can't build because I'm not a member of the Hermetic Society.
I thought I have been a member from time to time. It's not usually when I've been able to build gardens.
Vineyard sounds like a nice plan. levy size plus 10% might be interesting, but I suppose it's not that expensive compared with the things you would add to a castle. We have only got 2 castles in the county. Let's build a vineyard as well. I think I can afford that. My marshal is doing nothing. He should do something. I can research military tech for a bit while we wait for various truces to expire, or we find someone else to attack. Or we deal with repeated peasant revolts. Nice. He's just one of my random commanders, isn't he? Yes. He's my not so good siege leader. Yeah, they'll get a defensive benefit from the desert, but oh, more tech points from Baghdad. Oh dear, my centre was flattened. Happily, my flanks are quite capable of dealing with the rebels without my presence. At least his heir is out of prison now. Yes, those ones are probably significant truces. That one expires in 5 years' time. That one in even longer. Princess Ansa is going to come of age fairly soon. I have brilliant strategist, so I should probably remain her guardian until she does. Still haven't been ruling for long enough to yes, 1 year before I can change the succession law. more tech points. My spy master is doing a good job over in Baghdad. I have actually got enough to buy myself a level of improved keeps or a level of castle infrastructure. So it's quite tempting to buy some improved keeps to give myself more things to spend money on. Because that means an additional, quite cheaply, an additional fort level. Okay, I'm finally going to run out of money from the crusade. Right. How are you doing, Montreal? Still only 44% in your war for Arabia. Lost a commander. Oh, Dieter, my not very useful siege leader, has gone and inherited a barony. Okay.
Is it a barony in your kingdom or not?
No.
Oh.
So he wasn't a very good commander. Oh, I should appoint a new seneschal. Yeah, I haven't got any good commanders lying around. So let's look through the siege leaders. He'd be alright. So, which of my vassals are militarily strong and annoyed at me? Probably the Duke of Ascalon looks like a good one to make seneschal. Oh, he already has an honorary title. Well, that guy loves me already, doesn't he? Yes, Stoneface. Oh, nice, so does that one. Right. Faffage. My liege, the construction work being done in Jerusalem is coming on well under the meticulous eye of a master builder who has taken me under his wing and is teaching me all he knows about constructing buildings. Thank you, I think. I should hold a feast. Alright, Princess Ansa has come of age. She's, as we hoped, a brilliant strategist. She is slightly surprisingly a siege leader. She hasn't yet got her brilliant strategist points.
Unfortunately, you can't make them fly, can you?
Don't think so. But like once she's queen, she can certainly lead armies. Right, Georgios is now Catholic. Oh, he is possessed as well. Oh well. And a known murderer apparently, but he is a siege leader, so that's helpful. But yes, sadly I cannot. Right, so, Ansa only has a martial skill of 25, as against Gerhild's 30. But on the other hand, Gerhild's 30 includes 3 from artifacts. So once Ansa inherits those, that'll take her up to 28. Which should be okay. Oh yes, she should actually marry her betrothed. Right. Though rather perversely, I think she's going to stay in Africa. I mean, I could probably invite her to my court. No, she won't come because she likes her grandmother. Oh well.
She'll turn up, next time.
Yes. Monreal's war with Banalfrat appears to have reached a kind of stalemate. And they just seem to be standing around in Al Jalf. At plus 44% war score. I can't increase taxes at the moment. Am I getting money from my church vassals? I am. Good. I think. Yes. Right, that random little Yazidid emirate has joined a defensive pact against me. So I forget to hold that feast. Oh well, we'll do it next year. Yazid revolt just popped up, but that's not very helpful. I mean, I suppose I could start plotting to murder various Muslim leaders, but
Is that to
like I can't get very much plot power. Yes. Mostly we just hang around until the truces expire or something interesting happens. Right, yes. Unsurprisingly, the Byzantine Empire is trying to take Antioch, which is a pity, but like we'll get it eventually.
I mean, you can probably take it back off them at some point when they're going through one of their inevitable, revolt incidents.
Who are you? All right, you're the Duke of Ascalon. And apparently handsome. So yes, there isn't a lot going on at present. Let's run time a bit faster. Nothing else to be built there. What's all this about? Alright. The Duke of Ascalon is... Oh yes, he's trying to take Sinai. And has just imprisoned quite a lot of people. Which might help. 73%, he might win his war at least. I think he's got adequate resources, unlike Monreal. Unfortunately, there isn't really a way I can lend my troops to Monreal to help with this. I mean, I can send them money, but I haven't got much money either.
A few hundred.
Right, let's hold a feast to cheer up our vassals. Boar meat. No feast is complete without boar meat. Who will get the prestigious task? Do I send out Marshal Erdwulf, who might gain a marshal point and might end up wounded or might even die? Or do I force the peasants to do it? I think we'll send out Erdwulf. Let's, for once, spend lavishly on food, just to see if it makes an obvious difference. People are still refusing to turn up. Probably because most of my vassals are at war. The Italian army, yes. Where are you lot going? Well, it was a relatively unexciting feast. Who are Italia at war with then? Oh right, they're trying to take Damot, which is like somewhere all the way down here. So, okay, there is actually a tiny patch of Italia here, and a tiny patch of the Holy Roman Empire next door. And Damot, which is here, which is currently actually occupied by Duke Claudio of Salerno. Oh dear. At age 63, your husband Yasser died a natural death. So I should find a new husband. Yes. So there is one available genius. He's my Chancellor. I mean, I don't really need more children, but on the other hand, he has pretty decent stats as well. Oh, but he doesn't then get to count twice for diplomacy, does he? I mean, he gets to count once for diplomacy, which is still pretty good. I'm assuming I don't really... I mean, I might want a matrilineal marriage, which he would take because he's in my court, I suppose. Is he actually the only person I can get a matrilineal marriage with? Yes, apparently. At least by the obvious route. Okay, no, he's not. Oh, the UI was just being confusing. Yes, I see. Well, I think I'll probably go for Philibert then. He seems all right. Let us collect a royal aid duty to pay for it, or possibly to pay for more stables, more city walls. Oh, Allah has granted Satrap Aram II of Herat victory in the jihad for Persia against Maharaja Manavasima of the Pratihara Kingdom. Caliph Zaid has called for a month of celebration across the whole Muslim world. Cursed infidels. So, yes, there is no longer a lump of Pratihara Kingdom somewhere around here. I wasn't expecting that, but good for them. I'll just be invading them from the west. Lots of Italian troops stomping through my territory. Or are they stopping now? I don't know. How's your war going, sir? Oh, you've almost finished it. Good. He, however, is still alive. Similarly, Sultan Fadil over there. And there is no Count Pelagio of Negev is trying to take on the Banu Furat Sultanate for Arabia. We've already got one holy war for Arabia going on. Maybe I should, set up a Duchy of Ultra Jourdain just so that they can be slightly more organised over there. If I gave the current Count of Montreal the Duchy of Ultra Jourdain, then that would probably give him rather more troops, and he might actually be able to win his war. Which has been stuck at 44% war score for some years now. Go on, let's unify that lot simply so that they're a better military force. Now, of course, he's annoyed because he wants the Duchy of Ultra Jourdain. Well, we can fix that. I currently hold one of the counties there. We'll give him that as well. Right. That might put you in a slightly better position to do something good. Since he's been doing a fairly decent job against these guys anyway. So is there anything else I can build in Arca? Keep is quite expensive. Let's get some training grounds. I can afford those. A group of hedge knights have come to visit Jerusalem. King Philibert has met with them and asks surely for my reply. Do I welcome them with a lavish feast, causing me to become gregarious, which is good for my diplomacy and my vassal opinion? Do I welcome them reluctantly, or do I refuse them access, which will annoy everyone? Let's welcome them and become gregarious. Feasts are good. See, he's now up to 48% already. just by giving him a bit more territory. The Hedge Knights have participated in a minor tournament together with our knights in Jerusalem. Sadly, one of those landless vagabonds has been severely injured. Do I pay for some medication for 13.9 gold and get some piety? Or do I allow them to stay in the castle for some prestige and get some piety? Oh, well, the latter, obviously. Basileus Callistos the Wise, that's Basileus of Italia, just to confuse you, has set up Pope Eric as an anti-pope. The Italians do like setting up anti-popes, don't they? He's also a commander of Italia. Yes. But the Holy Roman Empire has the Pope. Pope Anastasius IV.
Really should be the other way around, but as we all know.
We appear to be running to an entertaining rendering glitch there briefly, where the colours of these were switching over as the Montreal army became the Ultra Jordan army, Ultra Jordanian. Yeah, I can't currently build better training grounds there. I'm out of cash, sadly. Yeah, nothing interesting there. My 15 prestige for being zealous. Aha! Duke Aloito the Handsome has taken El Arish off the Banal Farat Sultanate. So some progress in the direction of I don't think he's going to join us yet. Yeah, he's gone down a bit. Let's quickly check. So if we ask again, please show us everyone called Wessex. And look for a 20-year-old. Oh, Athelwine, Marshal of Sinai, might be convinced to join our court by a bag of gold. Right. Now we just need to find a duchy for him. As I unlace my dress to go to bed, I let out a sigh of relief as I feel my pot belly jump out free of constraint. If I don't find something else to fill all these lazy afternoons, I might soon outgrow all my clothes. Well, yes, we can't go to war with anyone. Because of her high personal combat skills, she can declare this is not the fate of a warrior. She will become fat, but put herself to work. Yes, I think that's appropriate. She is definitely a warrior. She will now be a substantial warrior. Right, so Athelwine of Wessex has joined my court. Athelwinner.
It's more German.
Yes, I suppose wine would be an utterly silly pronunciation of that. Athelwinner. Winner or winner? Is that asking too detailed a question?
No. If there's no diacritic, it's a short I, so it.
Athelwinner.
Old English vowels that aren't diphthongs to a first approximation, if you pronounce them as German, are not going to be massively.
Athelwinner, right. of Wessex, who has brought with him his daughter Brynhilda. I mean, he is actually German, but he is nonetheless called Athelwinner.
Yeah, in that case, pronounce it more or less like it's German.
Because his father, Duke, is that going to also be an Anglo-Saxon name? Oskitel?
It sounds more Oxford,
Yeah.
but
It does. Well, his father's Anglo-Saxon, so yeah. Anyway, yes, his mother's also Anglo-Saxon, a solidly Anglo-Saxon family.
Athelwinner of Wessex.
Um, Yes, his children are Brynhilda and Alaric, but he's turned out German for some reason. Anyway, yes, he's married to a Di Spoleto at least. We should find him a duchy. The only duchy I can create at the moment is Damashq. I mean, I do also control the Duchy of Jerusalem, but I ain't giving that away. On the other hand, presumably one of these truces must be expiring soon. 3 years, less than 3 years until we can take on the Najidids again, even if no one dies. Yeah, I don't think I can improve Mirabelle right now. I haven't got enough tech to improve Mirabelle anyway. Not just for months, it's been there for quite some time. Alright, it got automatically renamed when it was finished from Magnificent Garden to Jerusalem Garden. I mean, I suppose I could claim to have built a green and pleasant land in Jerusalem.
So you can call it green and pleasant land?
Yes.
Of course, a traditional garden in the region of Jerusalem should be called Gethsemane.
I could call it Gethsemane. I mean, that might be a bit presumptuous, but...
You're the sword of God. Of course you should presume. It's definitely in Jerusalem, because it's in Holy Week, at the start of which is Palm Sunday, in which Jesus arose in Jerusalem, and then the rest of Holy Week is played out by from the seven hills of Jerusalem.
Gethsemane.
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Right. Because it can't really be England's green and pleasant land. She's never been anywhere near England.
It's true.
Well, that's probably true of Jerusalem as well, isn't it?
Well, given that it's about Joseph of Arimathea allegedly coming over here, blah blah blah, after the crucifixion, something. I paraphrase.
Yeah, and it's
Extensively. Yes, it's based on a particularly, an especially bollocks piece of religious myth.
Hello, Bertrand of the Knights Templar. He's founded a defensive pact again. Oh yes, feast. Oh no, I did hold that feast. I held it last year. Bye, Bertrand.
Right, yes, but the story of Jesus coming to say when he was young with Joseph.
Oh, with Joseph. Oh, yes.
Those feet.
And did those feet. But this is the problem. It's one of those things. And did those feet in ancient time walk among these things? What? No. For several reasons. Starting with no.
Oh right, that was how you won that war, was it?
No,
You imprisoned the.
no,
Oh no, that's not the actual leader, is it? The actual thing. I don't want to fight the Knights Templar. My vassals occasionally fight the Knights Templar because the Knights Templar control a castle here. I think.
Practice Chevalier.
I think. No,
Because that's further north, isn't it?
maybe it wasn't that one. I think they control something. Yes, the La Fèvre.
Oh, right, yes.
And like last time they controlled the castle here, the local count evicted them. Possibly slightly unfortunately for them, while I had the Knights Templar hired, so they didn't have many troops available to defend themselves. Where is the Duchy of Jerusalem then that I apparently own? Okay, it should include... Ideally would include Hebron and Acre. I mean, I suppose it does. They're my direct vassals.
I nearly didn't actually buy you some apple pie and custard creams.
Ooh, what an odd thought.
I didn't get those, so I got those here.
Right, it is not the Gethsemane. Well, I mean, it is the Gethsemane, but the construction of the feature vineyard has finished for the Gethsemane. So I can now have private conversations and send people wine.
It's just what you always wanted.
Well, those are both quite helpful.
It's true.
Wine is particularly good for if you really want to improve someone's opinion of you, because you can send them money and wine, and those stack on top of one another.
They're your best friend ever.
Yes. Jar Jar, Steph. Are you managing to win your war now? No, you're still stuck at 44%. Ah. No, none of the nearby rulers is dying. My truces still aren't expiring. Oh dear, I've lost my steward. No one good in my realm. Well. Aloito the Handsome looks like he's doing pretty well at getting ransoms out of people. Well, I think we're going to have to steal someone else's steward then.
Oh, you're out of steward.
Yes.
Yeah, which is it? Fresh steward.
Let's continue surrounding myself with mystics.
Yep.
Actually, where do they have claims on? Are there any interesting claims? Timotoi, I don't think that one's helpful to me. Axum, well, that's kind of amusing, but he's also got 17. He has a strong claim on Provence. Meh. Weak claim on Schwaben. Meh. Strong claim on Lutsk. Sicily. Rossos. Nowhere, but for some reason wants to join my court anyway. He just likes me. Then we're down to people with skill 16. Oh, hang on, I can scroll up as well, Stokeface. 21 is available. He has no claims, he just likes the idea of living in Jerusalem, apparently. Should always remember that this thing doesn't keep resetting back to the top. Well, I mean, he's a bit old, but he'll do. Come along, Gottfried. Become my steward. Aha, we can change our succession law. So currently it is agnatic cognatic primogeniture. I propose to change it to absolute cognatic primogeniture. Warning, changing succession law will displease all vassals. Well, that's fine. There we go. Slightly changed the succession order. Obviously, Answer is still first. Presume she still won't join my court. No. And she likes me with plus 100, but she also likes her grandmother. Some money now. Not enough to build a better keep in Ramallah though, which should probably be my next priority. How much money have you got? Do you... LOE2? Not that much. Doing alright though. Yes, well, I can't change my obligation laws, can I? Because I adjusted my centralisation, which was probably a bit of extravagant use of my once every 10 years change of laws. Poor Grandmaster Bertrand. Prince Seward of England has declared the Galilean Templar de jure holding war over Tiberius, i.e. over Lafèvre, on the Grandmaster Bertrand of the Knights Templar. He has decided to expel the Knights Templar again. Yeah, we have a peasants' revolt in Amman. Let's go and deal with that. With our typical stupidly laid out army. Oh dear, ill again. Ooh, cough is killing me. It started as a chest pain and shortage of breath. Then I started coughing up blood. Something is very wrong with me. Queen Adalberta gains the trait Mnemonic. -35 personal combat skill. -4 health. -2 pretty much everything. Well, maybe Princess Ansa is going to inherit the kingdom earlier than we thought. But despite this, she still has martial skill of 28, personal combat skill of 43, and is going to get these rebels pretty quickly. Right. Do like having good siege equipment. Well, that's the rebels dispatched. Still a couple of years until we can go to war against either of these guys. Maybe we should have a look around for some more claimants. Yeah. Presume the Byzantine Empire is reasonably scary at the moment. Yes. What is my... It's only, I suppose it's only he's going 16% yearly, so it will take him a few years to fabricate a claim out there. Oh, it's feast year. I may be unwell, but indeed dying of pneumonia. Excellent. Yes, perform at my feast. Acrobats, yes. Food, yes. Oh, she's actually become fat. Oh, I feel that should be good for her health, but maybe not. Her personal combat skill is now merely good. Duke Aloito is very slowly ransoming everyone. Yep, he's driven out the Knights Templar again. I mean, I think it might have been someone else last time. Lafayette is now held by Prince Seward of England. Oh, The cough disappeared, thank God. I still feel a bit weak, but the coughing, the chest pain and shortness of breath are gone. Right, well that's done some good for her personal combat skill. Montreal, how are you getting on? 54%. Sorry, I mean Ultra Jordan now. 54%. Feast time. Recovered from my illness just in time. Yeah, it's not very helpful making friends with a bishop. Make friends with dukes, they're much more useful. Aha! My liege, my work in Muscat seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening and forging documents, I've managed to fabricate a claim on the Sheikhdom of Muscat, presently held by Sheikh Aram of Muscat. Damn it! It's not independent anymore, though. Now it's part of Najdid, of the Najdid Sultanate. Yes, I'll take it, but by no means the most helpful thing. Have a go at Dhofar instead. I mean, we might use that claim. But, like, if I'm going to war with the Najdids, I'll do it by Holy War. Probably. Maybe I shouldn't have bothered with that claim. Oh well. Only a few months till we can declare a holy war on the Najdids anyway. I suppose the advantage of taking that would be I could then, like, holy war my way westwards. It's a possibility. He's a bit scary. Not sure I want to go to war with him at all. There are now 2 holy wars for Arabia going on. Ultra Jourdain, which is at 82%, and Queen Adalberta. Apparently, I thought it was one of our guys, but no. Oh, there's the Count of Negev, who, like, yeah, is not going to do very well. But Queen Adalberta is also engaged in a holy war for Arabia. At least she hasn't called me in. That would be embarrassing. I suppose I can distract her by calling her into my war with the Najidids. In admittedly a year's time, because I've just got confused about what year it is. Aha! Well, he's kind of got some territory. We have gained Arabia, some of it. Some of it, though, was occupied by Africa, and so slightly awkwardly, we haven't quite claimed Petra. Because while we've got the bishoprics of Al Jaffa and Shubak, Man and Mutar are were both at the time occupied by Africa. And we can't yet usurp the kingdom of the Sultanate of Syria because we don't yet control enough of it. Indeed, we currently only control territorially Damascus and Palmyra. Right, another rebellion put down. This kid still hasn't managed to be pushed off the throne, so we've still got a truce with him. We're never going to be able to usurp Syria because he's never going to stop being at war with someone. The Najidids are at war with the Holy Roman Empire, are they? They're trying to take Samara. Right, which is that county. That duchy, rather. No, not holding a feast this year. New Pope, Pope Gregorios V, who does not much like Gerhild. What's that? Erudite, right. Aha, Damascus has been converted to Catholicism. Well, that's probably helpful. So we have 8 months until our truce with the Najidids ends. And we currently have a claim against them at one end and a holy war available at the other end. I think we want to take the holy war first because otherwise the Byzantine Empire is going to start getting in the way. Hello, Byzantine Empire. Seems to be something quite complicated going on here. Mostly it's Africa winning a war, winning a battle, which is unhelpful from my point of view because I don't want them occupying the whole of the Near East. Oh. I could usurp Syria for some reason. Is that because he doesn't have another title? That one's fairly obvious. Like, I control all of the territory of Tripoli. That means that Banu al-Furat is currently not at war. Yes. Because Africa has just taken those 2 counties. So usurping Syria would probably break up the Banu al-Furat Sultanate. I'm slightly surprised we don't... No, I never did take Tripoli. So I think what I want to do here is, how much money will this cost? So it's only 100 gold to get Tripoli and 200 to get Syria. So that's not so bad. So if I take the Kingdom of Syria, then that should break up the Banu al-Furat Sultanate a bit. In that he will cease being Sultan, he will just be in charge of the Mosque of Haban. So his various vassals will then all become independent. If we usurp Tripoli, then this guy will lose that, but that will just cause him to become Count of Khyber, which is hardly significant. But that will give us a convenient duchy that we could grant to our heir to Sinai, so that then if he inherits Sinai, it'll come out of probably. I should just check. Like, that is probably the rule's something unpleasant, and it'll turn out that if that it'll go to another child or something. Will it then just end up going to Eadwulf instead? Well, we can invite Eadwulf over, I suppose. We'll need him to like his father a little. His father a little less first. Well, it's worth a try. So I think I want to usurp Tripoli. So I now have the Duchy of Tripoli, and then I want to take my heir to the Duchy of Sinai and try granting him the Duchy of Tripoli and all the counties in it. So he's now Duke Athelwinner of Tripoli. So then the question is he still heir to Sinai? It looks like it. Yes, it's a primogeniture, so yes, he's still heir to Sinai. Excellent. And then the other thing I would like to do is to usurp the Sultanate of Syria. Because by doing that we will break up the Banu Furat Sultanate. Splot. He is now a mere wali, and I, meanwhile, am Queen of Jerusalem and Queen of Syria. But because our inheritance law is primogeniture, I may have to turn up the Crown Authority there to get... There is a slight problem that it's only primogeniture in one place, but that's not really an issue while I only have one child. I think we should immediately request higher Crown Authority, though. Let's try to make things coherent. And then the question is, do I also usurp Arabia while I can? Slight problem is, of course, that at the moment, de jure Arabia is all controlled by the Duke of Ultra-Jourdain. But he has Gavelkind succession, which would mean that, at least if he has another son, which might happen, we could split it at the next inheritance. I mean, to be fair, he could usurp that. Does he have enough money to do it? The main reason we'd want to usurp that is it would give us de jure claims again on these two. But I also have an alliance with Africa, so I wouldn't be able to do that, and and this guy is nowhere near strong enough to do it. He's got more money than I have, so I think actually if anyone's going to usurp Arabia, he should. Let's just have a quick look at the title. That's held by this guy, who is a single Yeah, it doesn't gain us a lot to usurp that. All right, that's another reason why we could. No, we couldn't. That's just now an independent. So now I have 53 holy wars I can declare. Because basically all of my neighbours are people they weren't before. So I can declare a holy war on this guy, Emir Ismat of the Sabid Emirate. Let's just confirm this. I could declare a holy war for Antioch on him. I can declare a holy war for Hijaz on him. Holy war for Nefu on him. Probably can keep going a bit further south because anyone who's in Hijaz I can also declare a holy war on. So there's like now a lot. Indeed, we actually touch Nefu now, so we can take all of that lot by holy wars in rapid succession. On the other hand, so can Africa, which says to me that I probably want to head down the coast first. Simply to keep Africa out. That seems like a kind of plan, is declare war on all three of these. Holy war for Hijaz, so essentially try to take all of Hijaz except Medina. And none of them's significantly scary from a military point of view. And we could also head north there. That's less urgent, but they will probably get squashed by the Byzantine Empire if we don't get there first. So that's like 4 wars. I'm not terribly short on troops, am I? No. They've been recharging quite happily. Right, okay, let's declare those 4 holy wars and see if I can finish them reasonably quickly. Right. So I almost certainly want to raise all my available troops. And then organise them into 2 groups. One should go against Antioch. He's got about 3,000 troops, so I should probably send that lot. That lot are kind of a disorganised rabble a bit at the moment. Let's merge those in as well. in the hope that that will actually give us something we can spread out sensibly across 3 flanks. Right. Then, obviously, as the one that's going to enter battle first, this one should have the best troops. We should try to take them on up in their capital. And meanwhile, that lot are all organising themselves down here. Let's start on fixing up the Crown Authority situation. The third Jerusalemite holy war for Hijaz. We're doing them all in parallel, but we have a new master builder. So that lot are currently hiding in the mountains, aren't they? Yeah, sorry, Najdarids are going to have to wait. We may have to attack them in the mountains simply because we haven't got anywhere else to go. Possibly we besiege their capital first. I've got a siege leader there, so let's just settle down and besiege Antioch while we work out what's going on down here. This is going to be far too big an army for the job we want. That's fine. Probably means, though, that we could, like, split this in half. Supply limit's fine. Now let's start by sending them all into Khyber. Do we hang on a bit? See if these guys have managed to end up at war with anyone else. Not yet. No one else is quite that enthusiastic. But yes, the neighbours are beginning to join in these wars, so we want to get there pretty swiftly. This guy has just hired 5,000 extra troops. But they're 5,000 extra troops with bugger all...
Legs.
thank you. Morale. So if I march in there right now... we may be able to kill them or at least rout them really quickly. Which will almost certainly help. Yes, they'll get a defensive advantage, but there are more of us than there are of them, and they have no morale, and we have brilliant commanders, including Queen Gerhild herself. The Battle of Hrossos, our ongoing struggle outside of Alexandretta, has brought out the best of our military strategists. One of them is a Basque veteran with a penchant for innovation. He's suggesting he retire from the battlefront and return to Jerusalem to continue his work. Yeah. More military technology will be good. Rather curiously, he dies, well, vanishes without a trace. We sent him back to Jerusalem. Right, Battle of Alexandretta 1. Oh, excellent, they've marched into my territory now. Well, let's go and give them a thrashing there, then. This will be a slightly harder battle, because they've, got some morale. But that means we'll actually get to kill them rather than just routing them. Right. Now, don't unpause when that happens. I need to learn that I've changed the settings. It's a good change, but... right. Victory there. So... they're now coming down to join me. Excellent. Right, well, we should be able to kill them as well. Meanwhile, let's just pay attention to what's going on down here. That army is about to arrive in Kaibar. Excellent. That army is now ready. Let's give this army... let's take my marshal off research. He should have been training troops, really, but I was not that organised. So yes, there's a good batch, because they can then... I don't even know what war that lot are part of, but I'm sure killing them will be helpful. So they've just... oh dear, we're running out of money. Right, yes. I may have to dismiss my personal levies just so I don't run out of money, but let's win this battle first. We can afford to run negative current account for a bit. So those have now been defeated again. That look like they're going to escape now. Well, you lot can continue down there then. I think that's still reasonable. Yeah, I think we want to finish this war first before we start dismissing serious numbers of troops. Here we want to make sure we've got a siege leader, which we have. Actually, given the advantage we've got there, let's just wipe this place off the map. I mean, the money we get from these sieges is actually helping to fund the war. Right, so they're now marching in there. They're still equipped with a decent supply of commanders. Up here we are happily besieging somewhere middling scary. We don't actually want to do anything with it. Dangerous thing is if they come down out of the mountains, but even then we've got an adequate set of, if they actually move, that's good. That's quite a big defence, but on the other hand the fort's not much good, so don't know if we assault them. Oh dear. No, that's not Africa. Good. That's the Zeodids, who admittedly are probably a bit scary in their own right, but don't think we want to assault here. We actually want these guys to leave their mountain fortress. That battle looks all right. They, oh dear. Okay, it's not very alright, because we turn out to be in mountains. Might get away with it. You guys stop pursuing that lot, thank you. Right, that's looking good. That siege, well, let's polish that off with an assault. I mean, we're never going to be able to ransom all that lot in time. Because that war's over now. Oh no, it isn't. We're only at 99% war score. Is that a... Less than 36 months and we have not yet won a major battle. Bah. Does that mean we haven't got his whole territory? Or does that not work for holy wars? Because, yeah, his vassals are all for Rabig, Yanbu, Badr and Farnia. Rabig, Badr, Yanbu. Where's Farnia? Oh. Well then. I think. No, let me work this out. So all right, that's up in the hills, I see. Well, we'll take that shortly then. Let's send this army onwards down the coast. Let's send this army down to join them. Oh, that's the Kaibar army up there, is it? Oh, okay, well in that case this army should go up and give them a quick thrashing and then head down to Jeddah. You lot can go straight to Jeddah. Either 10 or 14, isn't it? Well, let's do the 14s first. So I've noticed we've been attacked in Antioch. We're about to win another battle as a result. Right. %75% war score from battle, so we do actually have to occupy something. Well, we're trying. Indeed, we will successfully occupy something fairly soon. Does this one... Thank you. Does this one actually have any, like, commanders? Some. Sieges are not pausing properly. Winning a siege is meant to pause the game. Oh, but we also have a siege has been won. What's the distinction between we won a siege and a siege has been won? Oh, those only appear in the log, so that's not... No, that's not relevant to us. Yeah, that should be pausing. Oh well. So, how are we doing in that one now? 88%, right? Keep besieging. This slightly unfortunate army with only one commander is doing perfectly adequately. Yeah, we'll deal with them in a bit. Right. Oops. We have 100% war score in this war. That's the one against that guy. We occupy everything that's in his territory there. So I think there's no reason not to offer him peace. Yes. So there's these odd things that are not... Most of the stuff in there is not actually owned by... Oh, maybe... No, I don't know. Is not actually owned by the holder of the county. So that's going to be a bit weird. We're probably going to have a bunch of little holding wars to deal with. So that lot are both marching into Jeddah. Where there will be a tiny battle. There's a decent sized army there. We might want to deal with them in a bit. I think we can just leave that siege to progress. And down here we want to pay some attention in case a decent sized army suddenly turns up. Happily there's only 2 holdings in Jeddah, so that shouldn't take long. Yeah. I've of course gained a load of titles which we'll deal with later. Right, we have finished besieging Antioch. That means that that war is now complete. No one else is occupying anything up there. We won't get those 2, I don't think, but we can probably vassalize them pretty quickly. So that army, I think, is now unnecessary and should be disbanded. We could quite easily occupy those in the same way that others have dealt with the Knights Templar, but there's no hurry. So it probably means we now actually have no, we still don't have a positive monthly balance. Do we assault this for speed? What are you guys doing? Alright, that's a dull de jure war. I don't know what they're doing, but it's not relevant to me. Don't think we're in a desperate hurry to win this war then, so let's do this gently. Oh yes, have we got anyone more we can ransom? No. Become a good Catholic and we'll let you out. If you became a good Catholic, we might even recruit you as a soldier. I mean, as a commander. Have we just like spurious? I think. Oh, yes. If you convert someone, they automatically get released. I think. So he is now just an ordinary member of my court. With a bunch of odd claims. Right, we besiege Jeddah. More people are joining the war. Well, maybe we should hurry it along a bit then. To the heroic Queen Gerhild. May you live in harmony and contentment. You surrender. Who are you? You're the Sheikh of Jeddah. No one else is occupying anything in Jeddah. We're just busy besieging a trade post at the moment. I mean, I think I'll accept, but only once I've finished besieging this trade post. Right, accept. The second Jerusalemite holy war for Hijaz has ended. Queen Gerhild of Jerusalem won. Right, okay, I've just spotted that army. It's currently running away. That's desert. I wonder if we stick in an organizer, we can catch them. We can. Let's do that then. Enormous great battle in the desert. Yeah, okay. Going after Nefu, which I haven't even started on yet. Right, Battle of Cameron, we have won for 31% war score. like a fairly scary 6,000 enemy troops killed. Let's get back out of there before we start suffering terrible attrition. Might want to do something about that siege, not sure. Gain slightly more tech. Oh, we can get extra castle infrastructure. Let's do that. Bing! The problem is most of the troops from down here are like the ones I'm actually using in the main part of this war. So I think we won't try to deal with that siege. Rather, we will just start besieging the capital of the Hashemid Empire. Dear, we're running out of money again. Need another successful siege. Well, let's assault this place so that we can get some money from it. There we go. Bit brave, but there, yes. Right, now we probably want to split this army in two and send one half to Mecca, one half to Asir. Yeah. Make sure we've got a siege leader there. I think we've still got a siege leader here, Rorgs, isn't he? No, Dane, yes. Probably can't assault these very quickly because, yeah, that's too close for me to want to assault. Prince Siward is now Siward the Pious. Yes, people are trying to besiege us, but that's really not going to make any difference. Right, we probably only need to win one of these sieges. Do with winning them fairly quickly, given the cash situation, mind. That one can't be assaulted, it's too scary. Yeah, that will probably help with our cash flow, won't it? Not upgrading all these, not upgrading the garden. Any other convenient way I can get cash quickly? Have I got anyone left to ransom? No. Have I got any courtiers I can expel? I can't remember if you can banish arbitrary courtiers. Obviously it's no good if they don't have money. You've got money. ask you to leave, but you won't actually give me any money if I do that. If I imprison you, I'll presumably be treated as tyrannical, yes. Well, I'm going to demand religious conversion of you because I don't understand what you're doing here. This is not actually going to help my cash situation. See, that's the thing I could usefully do. Collect taxes for a bit. Do we assault this anyway then to get the money? Yes. At worst, it'll reduce the number of soldiers we have to pay. Okay, we didn't quite manage to besiege it fully, which is annoying. Came very close. What is the supply limit in there would actually support both of them, these groups. Would it be better to break off this siege now? March the soldiers next door. Let's do that. Prioritise winning this siege. Let's try to get some of my random bishoprics at least fixed. I'm just going to do what I usually do, which will reduce my shortage of my excess of holdings a little. Though we probably won't get any taxes from them for a while. Right, that's at least dealt with all the wrong type of holding in domain problems. Still running at a deficit, mind. Oh dear, I've already lost gregarious, that didn't last long. That should now finish off a bit quicker. Another 12 days and that'll be done. It should be slightly good for my money. Right, and now the rest of these should be easier to push over. Right, the next one only has a fort level of 2.5. Then we need to go and fight some people and besiege some things back, I think. Let's at least get ourselves some positive money. Someone trying to fabricate a claim. Right, so now I think we should not try to push over something with fort level 6.5. We should head this way. This way. No, via, you're going to Jeddah, aren't you? Via Jeddah. Okay, they're now going to Medina. I go to Medina though, they'll just start going via Jeddah again and we'll get into a loop. Let's do that, even though it's obviously silly. Like they'll have a defensive advantage in Medina, but yeah, people are trying to change the succession laws. Probably because I keep being poor and I've got these troops raised for too long. But once this war is like over, we'll settle down for a bit. Yeah, thank you, that's of no use at all. This is a complicated dance and we're not actually going to get to encounter this army. Oh no, we are. Good. Battle of Khyber. Suddenly, things are going well when suddenly I hear an embarrassed huff from nearby. Spinning my sword ready, I see the enemy commander Mukhtar. 31, he's not bad. Awkwardly attempting to climb a fallen tree. I think he's trying to escape the battle, my lady, a soldier next to me muses. Yeah. Well, I shall duel him myself. Sadly, Duke Dane shoved me aside and took the duel in my place. Nuisance. Right. Let's settle down and besiege yet another thing. there's no money to be had in these sieges, but there is plenty of war score. Like that. Let's just check. All of his territory is occupied by me or by no one, yes. Right, that's all the coast down as far as the Zeodid's taken, which was what I wanted to achieve, because if while all those duchies and counties and so forth were independent, they were ripe for picking off by Africa. Africa, however, might find it a little harder to deal with this lot. Though now I come to think of it, they can probably take Medina, can't they? Because their rules are, yeah, they could probably take anything that's part of Hijaz. Now, food is no problem, but we might want to go to war with Medina quickly. But probably not tonight because it's quite late. We can probably now carry on building the Gethsemane, though. Rebuilding Gethsemane, I suppose. And yes, now we have basically wiped out 2/3 of what used to be the Banu Furat Sultanate. There's all sorts of stuff going on there, but I don't consider it to be my business. Italia is slowly... Well, I suppose it's appropriate. Italia is slowly taking over Abyssinia. Yes. In a way. The Najidids are looking reasonably feeble, but frankly so am I at the moment. I need to settle down and reorganise things a bit. We can probably set our steward back onto overseeing construction. Oh yes, Gethsemane is not very far off being a level 2 thing. Well, it's halfway there. So yes, that looks like Jerusalem has expanded quite rapidly. And we still don't have a truce with Arabia. I don't think. No. Or Medina. Or the Qayamids. Or, of course, the Zeodids. Or we could try to take Afar. No, we don't want that. Sanaa, yes, probably more likely. Or even more sensibly, Taiz, the next coastal bit. But Zeodids are like not completely soft. Medina are, and probably Arabia, though I think aren't Arabia currently... Ultra Jordan's already trying to take that one. So probably we just want to go after Medina. Let Ultra Jordan take Arabia. Say hello to the Qayamids because they're so soft and basically will reduce things to pretty much us versus the Najidids for things along the Persian Gulf. But that is all for later because it's far too late now. So I will save and quit and we will start tidying up on Friday. Good night.